My name is Sarah and I'm new here. So first of all, welcome to my channel, Freshly Read Books. It feels really weird to welcome you to a place that is so very new to me. But anyways, this video is going to be the Newbie Tag challenge that a bunch of other booktubers have done, but I figured it was a pretty appropriate first video, so let's jump into the questions. Why did you start this channel? So I started this channel to talk more about books than I already do. I know a lot of people out there have started booktube channels because they don't have a ton of people in their lives that do love books and read a lot of books. I am fortunate enough to have an amazing book club in real life, in physical life, although right now it's also virtual, so I get to talk about books a lot, but I found somehow it is not enough for me. And talking about a book once every 2 weeks, I'd rather talk about books more often, and I'm pretty sure I'm annoying everybody around me that doesn't read by explaining books to them that they have not read. So here I am. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? So I think unique is tough because there are so many booktubers, and I don't know if I'm going to be providing this like insight that isn't already a part of this community. However, if you want yet another booktuber that is interested in doing challenges and silly games and things like that, then you can go ahead and add me to your list. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I think the thing that's most exciting is just getting book recommendations and being able to say exactly the kinds of books that I like, and then having other people be able to use that to suggest new books that I would have never thought of, or maybe say like, oh no, you're not gonna like this book, things like that. I just think it's a neat community. I like talking about books, so I'm excited to talk more about them. Why do you love reading? I feel like my answer is probably the same as most others. Escapism is a huge part of it, just being in these different stories and everything. And then just learning new things, seeing different perspectives, and being able to read books written by people from other countries and by people of different ages. It's just really cool to be able to get all of that through reading books. What book or series got you into reading? Harry Potter, like probably most people my age. I don't really want to talk about Harry Potter very much because, I mean, who even is J.K. Rowling? But also like Series of Unfortunate Events I was really into growing up. Meg Cabot, who wrote The Princess Diaries, although I never read them, but her other books I was really into, and I think that that's what got me started into like actually looking more into that genre, the YA genre at the time. It was like the first time that I was really into what is current, what's coming out, what my library has available, that kind of thing. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So to Cindy from Read with Sydney and Chanel from Chanel Time, you guys look like you have so much fun when you film videos together and even just like separately. So I guess really the question is, how do you get your personality across so much, even in videos where it's like just you talking to a camera? Because that seems so difficult to me and such a weird thing to get used to, and I'm trying my best, but like it just seems like they're so genuinely themselves and their personalities are just hilarious and so much fun to watch. And I hope to be like that at some point. And then to Zoe from Zoe's All Booked, can I use your private library as my public library? Because oh my gosh, there's so many books that I want to read on her shelves. And watching your video that was creating the library itself, I watch that sometimes just to like get some motivation to do something. Also, your new baby is super cute. And then to Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, I am so down to do a 24-hour reading challenge with you and your sister because you guys look like you have just like the most amount of fun, and it's hilarious. I love watching it. It feels like oddly homey for people that I don't know in a country that I don't live in, so it's just really fun to watch and really fun to see. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think a big one is just like the skill gap, like not really knowing how to record and edit and all that encompasses that. I think that that's going to be a really big learning curve. I'll try my best. Hopefully it will continue to get better as I go. I think it's an opportunity to learn a lot, and not just about filming, but also about books, authors, and through books you can learn so much. So yeah, I'm excited for it, but it does seem a little bit daunting. When did you start reading? I don't really remember not reading like extensively. It's always been like a me thing. I had a brother who was like super social, super outgoing, still is. I oftentimes was the like book nerd that would spend family holidays like reading. Also, I was just like the youngest in my family in general. Like of all the cousins, I was the youngest. So I think it was just easier for me to spend that time reading, and because I was just so nervous about talking to anybody at any time. I think I've gotten over that, but I'm still not at the level of my brother, and I still love to read. My parents say that I used to pretend to read the newspaper before I actually read. And I remember using a cassette tape to get to the point where I could read my first full sentence. It was like an ABC's cassette tape, and my first sentence was, "The frog jumped over the log," except I didn't know how to pronounce the TH in the, so it was "tuh-eh." I remember that like vividly, being super excited to tell my mom that I had learned how to read a sentence, and then reading it for her and her being like, "That's really great, but also there's something you should know." That's the word "the." Where do you read? I feel like I pretty much read, I don't know, anywhere, normal places, like in bed, on the couch. I'd love to read outside, but it is summer and I live in Florida, so no thank you. I would literally start sweating like the second I walk outside. And also there's mosquitoes, so don't really want to deal with those. But once it comes around to winter, it feels weird to call it winter, so gotta use those air quotes. But once we get around to that time of year, I'm sure I'll be reading outside a lot more. That's definitely my favorite way to read. But like more realistically, more day to day, just reading inside on the couch. What kind of books do you like? Thriller and sci-fi are my absolute favorite genres. I've been so into thrillers lately, or like thriller, mystery, horror, the whole spectrum. And then I also love sci-fi thrillers. Love them. That's not to say I don't like and I don't read other books. Contemporaries I definitely read. Oh, and nonfiction. I usually read like one nonfiction book a month. I don't read a ton of fantasy. I guess, I don't know. I don't think it's just like all fantasy in general. I think it's more just like high fantasy. That's not to say that I always don't like high fantasy. I don't know. I think I just need to like dive into what my preferences are in fantasy in general. But magical realism, which I'm pretty sure is a genre that I'm pretty sure that I like. But I don't know, I feel like I just have to dive more into these little pockets, which is part of the reason why this is so great and I can find and experience new things with this. So yeah, that's all the questions. This was fun. I'm excited to do actual videos about books specifically, but hopefully you enjoyed it and you're interested to see more videos from me. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, stay safe, and see you soon, maybe? Bye.